Hello everybody, my name is Veladam01 and after a quite long break, welcome back to the next episode of City Skylines East of the Curtain, my former Eastern Bloc city building series. And first, sorry about this long break, but I had to do this because basically I didn't have any time to record any new videos, so sorry about that again. And I also had to reinstall my computers, and I have lost some quite important data. For example, I have lost my BOB config, I have lost my forest brush config, and I also had to replace some mods I used because the original one got deprecated and I had to download the replacement mod, and I didn't have any time to configure that replacement mod. And so you can see that my buses and other public transport vehicles are now running with empty displays. You can remember that there used to be a lot of nice dynamic displays with useful information like line number or line destination on the public transport vehicles. Now I need to redo them again at every vehicle I have in the city. I also have to redo my BOB config, but for now, for this episode, I will just leave everything as it is because I just want to record the episode. So anyway, in the previous episode, I have built this nice bus hub here at the square on the edge of the downtown, next to the Have suburban railway station at the end of the line. And you can see that I have already made some changes here. For example, you could remember that this corner of this area was just plain concrete, and when I looked at it, I was just realizing how the hell does it look like. So I just changed it because I didn't like it. And you can see that I have planted some planters, and I just upgraded the pedestrian paths across the square, and now they are not plain concrete but these nice tilings. So, and I think that this actually looks nicer than it used to be, than it was originally. And by the way, you can compare it how it looked like, how it used to look like and how it looks like now, because I have posted a screenshot of the original version of it on my Twitter account, so you can find it how it looked like originally, or you can just rewatch my previous video. And I think that this version looks better than the original one. And I think that the only thing that is missing from here, from this square, is maybe something from here that I am showing you with my cursor. Maybe I can put here something, maybe I can put here a statue of something or somebody. And you know what? Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now on the start of this episode. So let's just see what kind of statues we have. So we have, I can see we have 4 statues or 3. And we have this rider statue with a guy. We don't know who is it, but I don't think. We have the statue of industry with a nice big statue of a worker. We have the statue of shopping, which I don't know what is this. Statue of wealth with a guy coming out from a globe, and this statue of Colossalus, which I think it requires water, or shoreline, so I cannot use this here. And I think since we have this nice big industrial area behind this square, I think I will use here the statue of industry for this purpose. But I will convert this to procedural object because I need to do some magic with this asset before I place it down. So let's just make it a little bit smaller because I think it is too big and it won't fit on the square. So let's just make it a little bit smaller. And now let's move it to the position and let's see how it looks like. So let's just put it down right here into the middle of this square on this empty area. And now you can see that we have a nice worker statue here next to or in front of this big industrial area behind that bus hub. So I think this is the perfect spot for this statue here. This is the best spot in the city, the most perfect spot for this statue in the city. And by the way, I think I have also renamed the square to a different name, so now it listens to Heather Square, and I think the original name was Butler Square, but I didn't like that name, so I just renamed it. And just ignore that the game doesn't want to load the district name. It often does that, so I don't know what to do with this. But interestingly, the other districts' names are loaded perfectly, so I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. So, in today's episode, what I want to do is I want to make a downtown expansion to the other side of the river here, because you can see that we have a quite big untouched area here. And what I want to do, how this episode is going to be, is just basically this episode is going to be like the episode first of this series. That first I will do the downtown layout, I will replicate this chaotic or messy zigzaggy downtown road layout here into this area. And later I will populate this with a lot of buildings from the downtown, with a lot of these European style buildings everywhere. So first, as I said, let's draw the road layout of this area. So let's just open, if it wants to open, the road tab. And now let's do this. So let's just expand this into 15. Let's just expand this to 15 or 10. And now let's do here 1, 2, 3. And this is not okay here, so let's just redo it. Okay, now let's try to do something. Let's try to expand 20 units from here, or 21, because actually this will be the best. Okay, now let's try to expand one of these here, and also remove this. And now we have this nice zigzaggy road that goes from here and that comes from here and goes to there, or backwards if you come from this direction. And I think I will replicate this road here to this area here, to the other side of this avenue that goes to the riverbank. Now let's try to expand this to here and to here, so we have a nice measurement unit. And let's try to make here one of these bigger districts, one of these smaller square. And also I want to make here a 15 by 15 empty square, because I want to use this in a future project. So this square won't be, this block won't be populated here in this episode. It will be populated later in some episodes. Now we have a pretty nice road layout here in the other side of the river. Or nope, because I accidentally left out something from here, like 26 units, 20, 21. Okay, so I think I will just do this like this. So I don't want to make here any connection from this square, because it will just break the illusion what I want to recreate here. And also this is kinda interesting here, so let me just recreate it, because I think something is a little bit, but okay, sounds a little okay. Seems like we have something buggy here, something is glitching here, but anyway, now it is okay. Okay, so bugs are fixed. Okay, now let's populate this area. And first what I want to do is I want to populate the area with a lot of these tower blocks, and I want to use this tower block for this. And this is actually from the video game Half-Life 2 from City 17. I don't know who played that game. I played. And these tower blocks are are directly exported from the video game, and I think they are blending pretty well into the downtown layout, the skyline. So I will just copy and paste some of these all around the place. And by the way, I already have one of them in the downtown, as you can see here. I just replaced one of the buildings here in the downtown with one of these from the Half-Life 2 series, and I think it goes pretty well into the downtown skyline. Even if you look from here, even if you look from here, or maybe even from the bus hub, you can see it goes pretty well into this Central or Eastern European vibe. And now let's also plop down some of these helper buildings, which I want to plop down, or if they will need. So let's just search for some tenements. I want to use, well, not this, and also not one of these, but I want to use these, this, I said this, thank you, this, or no, I don't want to use this, but I want to use this. I also want to use, not this, this building. It is actually PRH and not Praha, so I want to use, so they are the helper buildings. And now what I want to do is I'm just going to copy and paste a lot of buildings to this area from the other side of the river, because I don't want to waste too much time, and I also think that my tags in the find it mode are gone too because of the reinstalling of the game. Yes or nope, let's see. Well, looks like it is not going to work. Okay. Custom tags. Yes, all my custom tags are gone. Okay, so I need to do this with move it and copy and paste. Okay, so I'm going to cut this video here and I'm going to make this into a time lapse. So let's do it in a time lapse and I will be right back at the end of the time lapse. Okay, so here we are. This is what I made here in this episode. You can see that I have left some space empty. For example, this place was left empty by accident. This place was left empty on purpose because I want to do something here in the future. I'm not sure if this place was left empty by accident or I want to do something here in the future, but I think I will build this up later. I don't know when. Also, you can see that this place here is unfinished completely. But anyway, let me just show you quickly. Let me just quickly show you around the place what I have built in today's episode. So first, you can see here are these big, tall residential tower blocks all around the city, all around the area, the newly built area, which I don't want to talk about because I have already talked about them at the middle of the video. And but I want to show you something interesting. So you can see that I placed down some of these underground trash collection system. So these are the Amsterdam trash collection system. You can see in the name of the asset Amsterdam Trash, and these are actually I think garbage collection facilities, so it actually helps keep the city clean. You can see that one of these recycling or waste collection truck is leaving one of these Amsterdam trash collection service or these asset. So it is actually a working garbage collection asset. And I also built some of these parking garages all around this newly built area in the downtown because and wait a second, I think I should do something here because this here looks ugly with these plain empty walls. So let me just destroy you and let me just quickly pick something from here. I think here it is, yes. Let me just quickly pick this asset up. Let me just replace this asset with this here, like this. Okay, so back to the topic. You can see that I have also built these parking garages in between the residential and the old town, and because I didn't want to make the same mistake that I did here in this area, that this area just completely became a clogged up with traffic area, because everybody was just looking for parking lots and everybody was just going around because there was no empty parking lots. So I just decided that, you know what, I will just build one of these parking garages. And you may think that it kind of looks weird that it is like right in the middle of our residential area next to these big residential tower blocks. But once I was visiting Zagreb in Croatia, once I saw one of these like this, because when I stayed at a hotel and the hotel parking lot was just like a parking garage with I think 3 or 5 stories of parking lot, and when you looked out on the parking lot, it just looked straight onto one or two of these big residential tower blocks. So you could just basically see 2 or 3 of these high-rise tenements from the hotel parking lot. And later and if you look up that area on Google Maps, you can just see that it is just like a residential block with a lot of these parking lots. So you can see there are 3 levels for pedestrians and residents that they can walk around, and there are also at least 2 levels for cars, which I don't quite understand. So basically you can find a car park at the last unexpected space. You wouldn't even expect a car park at this area in Croatia, Zagreb, Croatia. So if anybody knows what is the purpose behind this design that you can see in, please let me just know in the comments, because I am interested to understand what the purpose of the designer was there. And yes, they are complaining about no road access because they actually need road access. So let me just quickly fix it. So let me just break this connection here a little bit. So let me just pick up these pedestrian paths. So let me just break it a little bit. And let me just draw a nice pedestrian road here, which leads to the parking garage. And I will use for these chameleon pedestrian paths. They are actually the park-like pedestrian assets, but they were made for actually cars, so cars can actually drive on them these roads. And also let me just redo this because I think I have just messed up a little bit. So let me just extend these one blocks. Okay, so let me just fix another area, for example this, and I think I don't think that it will be useful to have two nodes so close to each other. So let me just flip these up, and let me just also change its place. So now it will just snap to here. And now let me just snap back to the original place. So now what I want to do here is let me just remove these roads. And let me just do one of like this. So let me just do this like this. And shall I do this like that? Shall I connect this up to here? Because I'm afraid that if I connect up this, everybody will just draw around on this road here. So you know what? Let's just do it, and I will ignore if it causes any trouble. But anyway, I think this is the end of today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. Sadly, there will be no cinematic outro because when I wanted to record it, when I wanted to play the cinematic camera path, my game just crashed. So sorry about it. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching it. I was Veladam01. See you later. Goodbye.